Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about The Expanse, Season 3, Episode 2. It's called IFF. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. First thing I'll say about this one is I thought they were teasing us early on. Because Draper and Avasarala are being pursued by the UN ship. Ehrenreich trying to clear his loose ends, and they're in pursuit. He's not on the ship. He's back in Earth doing his diplomacy, obviously, as per usual. Doesn't get his hands dirty. But so they're going really fast. Avasarala is struggling. She's struggling with the intensity of the speed, and she's I think later on in the episode, Bobby's specifically checking if she's having a stroke. She's that worried about her. Whereas Bobby's been trained. She's good to go. But they send out this message. Oh, your suit's got like a built-in thing. And he's like, oh yeah, I can send it out. Only other Martians will pick it up though. It's a coded receiver. And then meanwhile on the Rassi, they get this message because A, it's a Martian ship, and then B, you've got Alex, who is a Martian, to if indeed he had to decode it in any way, he's the one.
He knows what he's doing. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's just Bobby. Oh my god, like they're going to accept. And then a debate starts happening, and Holden's like, no, we're not doing this. We're going to go and save his daughter. That's what we're going to do. And I genuinely thought they weren't going to go. Now, normally
Really?
I wouldn't. Normally I wouldn't. Normally I'd be like, no, they're going to argue about it, but then they're going to swoop in, and it's going to be the heroic save at the last second when we thought they weren't going to come. The reason why I thought they wouldn't is because I felt like, they're intentionally teasing us with this because they're going to keep them apart for longer. When Holden and Avasarala and Draper finally all get in the room together, it's going to be that'll be season 5. We're miles away from that.
No, this in that scene that you're talking about in the debate. As soon as it gets to the point where he tells, I think it was Amos, it's like, you look him in the eye and tell him that we can't go and save his daughter because we're going to go and do this. And then Prax just stood there. I'm like, okay, yeah. He's going to be the one who's like, no, come on then, we got to go save.
Yeah, he splits the tie because it's 2v2, and then I do like that Holden says, "Hey, you're part of this crew now. You get a vote." Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Prax is full on part of the crew. And also one thing we kind of dismissed Amos's decision to go along with the saving Prax's daughter last week. So the comments rightly pointed out that last season we saw that Amos does have maybe more sympathy when it comes to children. That's a big part of his character, and that was quite right to point out. And here again, he even debates with Prax, like, how are you deciding to do this? Why did you vote the way you did? We could be going to save your daughter, and it is a very heroic thing. Prax is like, hey, like you're doing everything you can to help me. Like, why am I worth helping if I'm not willing to do the same kind of thing? Like, so the idea of nobility, the idea of like, okay, I think Prax, who was, he's a very sort of victim character at the start of last season, or not start, but when we were introduced to him, and he's been very sort of helpless. But I think slowly but surely, we're getting someone who's very sympathetic and someone who we're rooting for more than just he needs help.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Kind of thing. So that's good. That's good. So yeah, this episode was very focused. There was no nothing on Tycho, anything like that. It was basically Vassaral and Draper and the Rassi, both of which of course were connected in plot.
Just the two ships, barreling towards each other.
Yeah, and then the only other thing, all in that, of course, was the new character Anna, who from one tweet I think I happened to glance at. I think in the book she has red hair, and the only reason why she doesn't have red hair was a production with another. She says she's doing something else, and she wasn't allowed to change her hair.
Makes sense.
But suck it, Ginge.
Yeah, it's mustaches all over again.
Anna, who is, of course, I know her from Lost. She played Juliet on Lost. So we now have two ex-Lost cast members on this. Mao, of course, being the other one.
They get around, don't they?
Yeah, they're getting around, yeah. All these mysteries and things. So, super exciting. It's fun stuff. I was curious to see who she was going to be. And she actually comes in, Secretary General Gillis is got her in. It's like an old friend of his who he's trying to get to help him write his speeches so that he can justify the war to the public.
Yeah, pretty much. She's a spin doctor by the sounds of it.
But she doesn't sound very proud of that job, though. It seems like she's went on to other things. She now runs a church. She does hostel care and medical care for places. Because she's our whole bargaining point with them is like, hey, if you support our thing, because right now we're bargaining with drug dealers right now to get like meds. You support our cause for a year, I'll help you write your speech. But she's a very strong character immediately. First of all, when she's first been escorted in, like, protesters are sort of breaking past the gate, and one of the guards starts beating the shit out of a protester, and she like intervenes, gets hit in the head, but grills them and says, "Hey, no, you go and get him medical care." She sticks up for this random guy she's never met, and then secondly, throughout the whole episode, she calls out the Secretary General on his shit, right? And he even says, "That's why you're here, because you actually call me out on my shit." But my favourite part is Aaron Wright. When Aaron Wright's, he's spinning these webs, he's being slimy, he's saying his shit. He's like, this. Look at us, we're about to win the war. He's all cocky, and he's almost been mocking of her, and she just like fires everything back at him, and it's like, you know what? Because Avasarala's no longer there, and she's going to be off doing whatever in space.
We need someone else to shout at him.
Yeah, we need someone else to belittle him and make him feel like shit. For just reasons, of course, not just for the sake of it.
Yeah, because he's awful.
Yeah, but she's immediately I'm like, okay, I kind of like this character already. Already, I'm getting a strong vibe of what she's going to be, and that she's going to sit there. And that's the thing, is like when he starts doing that, and then like there's like 3 other people in the room at the dinner table scene. She starts like just like, hey, like, you're going to like do this, you're going to go after their children, like what? And she just starts grilling them immediately. This is illegal. This is that. And she's like, hey, every so often we're reminded how small we are in the galaxy. It's nice to be reminded of that. Like she's very like, hey, like,
stop this.
Morals. Keep your morals in check.
Yeah.
Keep your like, and so far I'm liking her. I feel like Aaron Wright's probably going to try and have her killed by the end of the season, but we'll see.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And hopefully it fails, and hopefully she kills him back.
That would be nice.
Or something to that effect.
So someone killing Aaron Wright would be nice.
Yeah. Which I feel, because he's such a main character, though, we're not going to get that until the series finale, probably, at this rate.
Probably not. Although a nice, like, shock death would be really nice.
Yeah, he has to be there for us to hate him for the majority of the show, I imagine.
Perhaps. But if you kill him off, it means they've got someone that you're going to hate even more.
So, back over to the main sort of part of the episode, though. So, obviously, we've got the stuff with the Vasarala, her feeling sick, gradually over the course of the episode. All very good. The main ship comes in, the Rasti comes in, and sort of deflects, puts up the light thingamajigs for the... Someone in the comments can explain this to us.
It's basically a flashbang, right?
Basically, yeah, and it's tricking the missiles into detonating upon impact, as opposed to
flares.
Is that as simple as that? It's just flares.
Well, it's just like planes, right? If you send a missile at a plane, they'll shoot flares back out to distract it, or it'll explode on the flares instead of on the plane. I've definitely seen it in some movies. I can't think of a specific example off the top of my head, but
I can't think of it. But regardless, they're doing that. They're helping. They've actually got some missiles that they're controlling, just flying around the little Razorback ship.
Yeah.
All the way. By the way, Razorback was the name of the mascot in the first season of the hit television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It was a pig. Got eaten in the pack.
Not dignifying that with an answer.
So easy. Oh dear. I wonder how many other people heard the name Razorback and immediately thought of season 1 of Buffy.
Probably, in your opinion, not enough. In my opinion, probably too many.
Oh god. And we got 2 Lost actors on this show now, so there'll be Lost references flying at you later. Honestly, in my head, Mau's basically just taking the Dharma initiative to, like, this is the future of the Dharma initiative. He's just, his descendants from his character in Lost have just all looked the same. I
have no idea what you're on about now. Sorry.
Good. But no, so they're helping, and there's a lot of fun action stuff that actually comes out of this. The ship itself, the way it eventually wins the fight and actually not outright destroys the UN ship, but disables it so that they have to turn back or go for help. Is they actually they take out their engines.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing where they put up the flashbang so they don't see them coming and then swoop through it.
Yeah, and it's a very fluid motion as well. They kind of sort of back, they sort of like flip back up and go through it, and then as they're sort of flipped over in slow motion, they take the shots at the engines. It's a very, very fun sequence. Not to mention that inside the ship, Prax maybe didn't fasten one of the containers properly with all the tools in it, so we get a scene of all the tools flying around the inside as they're flying really fast, and I'm like, oh god, what's going to happen here? And ultimately what happens is that his oxygen hose
Tube.
gets knocked out, and he's kind of suffocating, and Amos has to get out of his own chair to go over and protect him. My favourite part though was the drill almost stabbing him in the face.
Yeah, right after he's finally got him plugged back
Yeah.
in, so he can breathe again, and then the drill comes flying at him, and of course, Amos just grabs it because
My favourite part of it was that hold on to that.
yeah.
That's a smart thing to do. Hold on to it, and then it won't be flying around, almost stabbing you in the face.
Makes sense.
Simple enough. Simple ideas. But no, all that was just fun stuff. Like it was all like it was obviously the main thing was going on outside the ship, but this was like a fun little action thing inside the ship at the same time.
Just a little bonus.
Because obviously the other thing he was doing during the episode is he was setting up some botany in the ship to like help with the air. Because that's what he does. He's a botanist. That was his whole thing.
And plants give off oxygen.
Exactly. Basic science.
It seems like, hey, you want a supply of air? Give me some plants.
Yeah, because they point out they don't actually need them per se, but their reserves or their purifier, whatever it is on the fritz. So they're having to like make this. This will help the supply until they get things fixed. Yeah.
Of course, it's all completely ruined after this.
Well, I mean, he arranged it once. He can do it again.
Oh, he can, but all that effort.
Hey, it works.
Poor timing is all I'm saying.
Look, if they'd put in the panels properly, like they said they would, to protect them, this wouldn't be an issue.
That's true. It's true.
So, hey, what do you want from me? So, of course, the other thing that's going on here, so obviously the big ending is they eventually save the ship, and I love the shot, by the way, of the tube comes out, and Bobby's carrying a Vassarala, and the shot's looking down at them, and obviously the tube is like, it's this see-through, and that she's walking through, and it's almost like she's floating, like a Vassarala's floating as they're walking across the walkway, and it's a really, really pretty visual. And then obviously the big cliffhanger moment at the end is the doors open and the crew look at her and go, we know who that is. That's Vassarala. Yeah. Because worth mentioning, of course, earlier on, Bobby specifically left their names out of this, because one of the things that's happened here is that they're wanted by both sides.
We discussed this last week as well.
Yeah, heavily, but Mars see her as a traitor. They see her as as a Vassarala, as a criminal, and then Earth see. Earth, technically not Earth, but Aaron Wright's got the UN ship trying to kill her at the very least.
Yeah, they think she's a war criminal essentially.
Yeah, a traitor. Yeah, they think she's a traitor. But funnily enough, by the end of the episode, obviously, the Rassi was already kind of in this in-between place, but as Holden points out, we basically just declared war on Earth because we damaged one of their ships. I mean, sure, we didn't kill any people, we went out of our way.
Yeah, but they're not going to give a shit.
No, they're not, but they went out of their way not to do that, but that was an act of war, so...
Especially as it looked like it came from a Martian ship, as far as the UN's concerned.
That's a good point. Would the UN know it's them specifically, or would they just think it's another Martian ship?
Depends if they picked up the transcodes of the ship's names and stuff like that.
Yeah, they changed it though.
They did, but I suppose if they change it again, then they'd be fine.
They changed it all last week, so at least right now, I don't see why they'd have any connection to
that said,
the Rassi.
At the end of the day, they're a Martian ship flying around.
Oh, they're still in danger. I'm not disputing that they're in danger. They're in danger, but I'm just saying, I don't think they would specifically know it's Holden in his crew.
Okay, no,
necessarily, because they did change the name. In fact, even the caption that came up when the ship showed up had the different name. I'm still going to call it the Rassi because screw learning another name. Come on, only got enough room in here for so many names. But of course, the other big thing that was going on throughout the episode is we actually see Praxis' daughter, and we see Strickland, and Mau's there as well. They're all in Io, and they're there, and we just get a hint of the testing. We see that Praxis' daughter, her friend, who's also sick, because of their condition, it makes them candidates to actually host the protomolecule and possibly be controlled, as opposed to the actual test subjects that they've had in the past, which have just kind of went AWOL.
Yeah, you mentioned it's just a genetic mutation that they only found on Ganymede, something to do with all the people there.
Yeah,
and basically, it's whatever this is means that they're not getting killed by it for a start. Yeah.
And we see that this other kid has it inside him already. We see his arms just glowing. And it's proper sinister because Mau's basically, this is fascinating. Yes, get to it. Do whatever you need to. Yes, all these kids ruin their lives. Experiment on them. So,
Pretty much.
proper dark. What I think's funny is I guess the only thing I'd say surprised me about this part of the plot is that Strickland's a lot more subordinate to Mao than I think I was expecting. I think I was expecting like just him on his own to be this really sinister
Okay.
character with his own, like, he was passionate himself about his work rather than not that he's sympathetic. He's not by any means, but
No, I get you.
he's more just following orders, sort of.
Yeah.
He's scared of Mao when he first showed up. He's like, "Oh, nice to see you, sir." And, nothing nice about it. And,
No, I'm with you. I'm surprised we're seeing as much of this as we are. It feels like the sort of thing that they could have just kept from us, and we learnt it with the crew when they discover it.
Up until this point, everything with this stuff has been more or less that.
Right, which is why I'm kind of surprised by it here.
Well, I think it's a new element because keep in mind, like, if you remember season 1, we had all the ship stuff, we had all the Earth, sort of, the political stuff, but then we also had all the detective stuff on the space station. And I feel like this might be kind of the other plot thread this season, at least until we get there with the main crew and see what happens. I'm actually very worried about how tragic this might end up being if they do get there too late and his daughter's, already turned, if she starts to turn or whatever.
Do they blame, okay, we made the choice to go and save Avasarala, and is that what made us too late?
They might. I mean, it depends if they go straight there right now. Like, a part of me thinks that this will even throw in another pivot in the journey.
Yeah, good do.
So, I don't know. But as always, these space battle stuff in this was fantastic.
Looks excellent, yeah.
Yeah, it was exciting, it was riveting. I like how, obviously there's cutaways to the other plots, but it's essentially all one big chase sequence, the episode.
It is. It actually makes it a very straightforward episode as far as this show goes, because 80% of it is, okay, we're building for this ship battle.
Yeah. And it is a straight line. It's basically Expanse's version of Fury Road in a lot of ways.
Kind of is, yeah.
All more simplified, of course, because it's not a 2-hour movie, but
yeah.
Yeah. So.
And you can't do, flamethrower guitars in space.
Well, no, it's a vacuum.
Exactly, which is, just you know how you have a theory. Everything's better in space.
Well, I mean, everything's better in ships in space. If you're actually just in space yourself, then everything's worse. But yeah.
I mean, okay, sure, but I'm just saying, flamethrower guitars, even inside the ship, I don't think that's any better. But outside on the top of the ship, now that would be awesome, but you can't do that, unfortunately. Need to find a way. I want to see it.
I mean, you'd have to build some sort of transparent container that you could have the flamethrower in.
You would, and feed it the oxygen.
And it'd be closed off. But maybe, like...
Kind of takes the fun out of it, doesn't it? Damn space. It's stupid rules.
I mean... How quickly would a fireball dissipate in space? Would it last long enough to put on a bit of a show on the way out? Is what I'm saying.
I mean, it would last as long as it takes for the oxygen to burn, right? Because assuming that the fireball is coming from an interior place, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's an interior fire, and it blows open the ship, and the whole whatever oxygen you got barely any time at all till that's burnt out, I guess.
All the little thrusters, right? What if you had just essentially one little thrusters, but what you were pumping out was flammable, right?
Okay.
And you said, right? Would you get little bursts of flame? Obviously, it'd go away quite quickly, but would you get little bursts of flame?
Maybe if you're pumping the oxygen with the flammable stuff. Maybe.
Right, someone get on this. We have to achieve flamethrowers in space, is essentially what we've decided.
Yeah.
But spaceships are cooler than cars and trucks. Not that I'm dissing post-apocalyptic cars and truck races in Mad Max world, because that's also fantastic. I am not dissing that for a second. But hey, so no, these are the important things: is the flamethrowers in space. Will Bobby get any more free food?
This is why you come to us for the discussion. I mean, if you want spoilers and real answers, you can just go read the books or ask someone who's read them. Most of you already have, from what I gather from the comments. But nowhere else will you get a discussion about flamethrowers in space.
Also, Avasarala might be top for best name because Anna's last name is Volovadov.
It's a pretty good name.
Volovadov. I love it.
You are going to say that a lot, or you're going to attempt to say that a lot.
Volovadov, 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 Volovadov.
Yeah, not bad.
But I guess that's the episode.
I think it is.
I think that's the episode. Now, I'm intrigued, but Anna's likeable right away because she's calling out the assholes on their shit, and that's immediately endearing. Space battles were cool, exciting, and of course, but I mean, let's just not forget the big thing here is that next episode we have Avasarala and Draper with our crew of the Rassi. Yeah, that's pretty big. I mean, think about season 1. Think about how separate Avasarala and then the holding crew were the entire time.
I'm just gonna say this is assuming Avasarala regains consciousness next episode.
Okay, I mean, she will definitely regain consciousness. It may not be next episode.
Yeah.
But it's happening.
She will be on the ship with the crew. She just might not be awake next episode.
Here's a question. How long before Alex and Draper bond over being Martians?
10 minutes, tops.
Right, it's worth asking. It's worth asking these questions. But that's it's exciting. It's actually exciting because they've been so separate, and they had 1 or 2 interactions basically through basically phone calls up until this point. Like, it's been so separate. It's actually really exciting to have them clash, and come together. And we'll see. Is Holden's new "we're not heroes anymore"? We're just going to go save his daughter because we promised that. Philosophy again. I mean, admittedly, if they suspect that there's proto-molecule stuff going on there, Avasarala might be all for going and checking that out anyway. But I wonder if her, no, this is for the greater good. We have to kind of make sacrifices for, we can't just do this for one person. We have to look at the bigger picture.
It'll be really fun to watch her try and take command because that's what she does. She's used to being in charge.
Which reminds me, actually, I'd forgotten. I mean, there was a little bit of this last episode, but I'd forgotten just how angry and foul-mouthed she gets at times, because she was just dropping F-bombs left and right earlier on when she was complaining about the flying. It was good stuff. So no. But hey, that's episode 2 of the season. Still really, really good. Excited for episode 3. I'm glad to have this show back.
Me too.
It's it's my hardcore sci-fi space show, as opposed to my later sci-fi space show Lost in Space, which is on Netflix right now, which we're working our way through.
Space people.
They oddly complement each other in a bizarre way.
They do. No robots in this one yet.
Yet.
I know. I said yet. I'm waiting.
Yet. Julie Mao bot. That's the thing that's going to happen. We're going to have the actress back.
All I'm saying is the robot is going to come out with a flamethrower guitar, and then this is the best show ever.
Which is actually, that's the thing actually, because they were debating whether or not to go help this ship, and then they went, wait a minute, that ship's registered Julie Mao. This might be important, guys.
Yep.
So no, good stuff. So that's Expanse. Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv. You can do that in the description below is a link. That's what I was trying to say. But that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV. Have you got any vanilla?